Hi there, it's James here at Dorsch Ford Kia here in Green Bay. Hey, I want to talk a little bit today about some of the, let's put it this way, the challenges that people are going to start getting into if they start taking advantage of the 0% financing for 72 months and 1.9 and 2.9 and switching their terms out to 84. In the highlight of all this COVID stuff that's going on, a lot of the auto manufacturers are really kind of pushing some of these longer terms to buy a car. I got Karn with us today. Karn is one of our seasoned veterans here at the store, one of our saleswomen here at the store. And I want to talk about today about the 2020 Kia Sorento. Now, what I really want to talk about is dialing down into the math and the numbers. And I think she'll probably attest this a little bit. A lot of our customers that are coming in that bought vehicles 2, 3, 4 years ago, if they financed their vehicle, they probably did a 5, 6, 7 year note. And most of those customers are coming to have a little negative equity. Back then, they were doing like 66 month, 72 month financing. Well, with the price of vehicles escalating and the terms going out longer term, as far as going out for longer on the loans, a lot of the auto manufacturers are pushing the 84-month terms. And then on top of all the COVID stuff, you can defer payments for 6 months, 3 months, that kind of stuff. And I want to make sure that consumers understand kind of where they're at with everything. Now, most of the customers that are walking to our front door, statistically, they say that the average person spends 17 hours of research online before they come in to buy a car. Yet when they come into the math and the numbers, they're kind of dumbfounded on how much things cost and the compound effects of money down and negative equity and that kind of thing. So what I want to do today is just talk a little bit about a deal that we got going on right now. And then I'm going to do some math for you so you can see, does this make sense or doesn't it make sense? So what I've got right now is a 2020, it's happens to be a Kia Sorento. It's an LX all-wheel drive. So a fairly well-equipped vehicle. It's got an MSRP of about $31,000. Now, one of the options a lot of our customers have right now is there's a $4,000 rebate that people can take advantage of, and or take advantage of 0% financing for up to 72 months. So they can go, I think it's 1.9 or 2.9 for 84. I think it's 1.9 for 84. So what I did is I ran the numbers here for us at 0% for 72 months, and then I did the 84-month term, so you can kind of see how this is going to work out. So again, $31,000 vehicle, you got to add tax, title, license, service fees, plates, all that kind of stuff, everything all in. Customer comes in with $1,000 down, they have a monthly payment on a 72-month term at $453. Or they come in with $1,000 out of pocket, they can go 84 months at $415. Now you look at this here, it's about $40 difference in a monthly payment. And a lot of people, including you, I'm sure would say, well, it's got a lower monthly payment, let's gravitate that way. Then what I also did is I ran with $2,000 down, $3,000 down. And then what I also did is I ran numbers on the lease. Now the lease has got some bigger rebates, but there's also a pretty low rate factor on the lease as well. And I did the same thing, $1,000 out of pocket, payment came in at $402 a month. That payment's with tax. Do $2,000 down, $372, $3,000 down at $341. So let's look at the math. So I'm gonna kind of flip this over here a little bit. Let's look at the math. I had asked Karn to kind of do some math here for us beforehand. So kind of tell me, if you're looking at doing a 72-month term, okay, and we don't put any money down, what was the monthly payment? I got a payment of $452? $452. How much money is that? If I assume I don't pay it off early, it takes 72 months at $452, how much is that?
$32,605.
$32,605. And that's what they're grand down, right?
Grand down.
Grand down. So my cost to own it, if you will, is $33,605. Again, that's 0% financing. That's a very attractive way to go. I have a lot of people that come in and think 0% financing, that's the best thing since sliced bread. No, it is very attractive, but let's do it by comparison to the 84-month term. So the 84-month term, what's the monthly payment?
$414.
$414. Okay, so if I do the math on that, how much money is that?
$34,847.
$34,847 plus the grand down, comparing apples and apples. So that comes to $35,847. What's the difference there? Do you remember doing that on there? The difference between those two?
$22.41.
So $22.41. So to go from 72 months to 84 months, well actually, the payment's like $20, $30, $40 less. However, it costs an additional $2,241 in interest. How many payments can you make on that? Like 6, 8 months worth of payments? So it's actually cost you a lot more to kind of go that route. So if you can afford a little higher monthly payment, I'll always tell somebody, spend the extra couple $100. If you can handle a little bit per month, you have the vehicle paid off a year earlier, and you're a better way to go. Now, let's look at the lease side of this, okay? So to look at the lease side of it, I had a 36-month lease, but typically when you come up with that grand down, that covers the first monthly payment, the taxes, the plates. So with a grand down, they've only actually have 35 payments left, okay? So 35 times, what's the monthly payment?
$401.
$401. And if I do the math on that, how much money is that?
$14,060.
060. 14,060.
Yep.
Okay, and that's with a grand down yet, right?
Correct.
Okay. So when you look at that, sorry, grand down, that's $15,060 to drive that vehicle, essentially for 3 years. Now, 3 years down the road, when a customer comes in, they got a paid up agreement and they have options. What's the LEV on it? What's the lease in value?
You're at 16,837.
Now, this is if a customer keeps it. Now, I will tell you less than 10% of the customers buy the leases out at the end of the term. But if the customers to keep it, do the math on what does that add up to be?
31,847.
Versus 35,000 for 84 months versus 72 months at 33. Now here's the real kicker. A lot of people come and say, well, leasing's not for me. I drive way too many miles. You know, I'm gonna hang on this vehicle, I'm gonna drive it till the wheels fall off, okay? But here's the big thing, when you start looking at this here at $31,000 versus 35 or 33, I did the math on the 84-month term, okay? Went online, looked at the amortization table, and I found out that if a customer, can I write this real quick for you? After 3 years, if they go to the 84-month term, what do you think this customer owes on their car? Now here they have options on $16,008. If they go and call the bank in 3 years down the road, they're actually gonna owe $18,776 yet to the bank when they come in to trade out of it, versus options on $16,800. So you really think about it, to go to the 84-month term, even if you pay tax on the balance or refinance that thing, you're still ahead of the game on the lease than you are on the purchase. So a lot of people, guys, if you're looking at buying a car, don't ever rule out the lease. You know, the leasing can be a very attractive program, especially look at some of the rebates that are out there. Now, not every vehicle is like that. I can tell you right now on the Kias with the 10-year, 100,000 warranty, the resale value of this vehicle is very, very high. So that said, it gives you typically a little bit lower monthly payment. But if you're gonna keep a vehicle at the end of the term, would you like to keep one at $16,000 and still weigh 18 on it? Now remember, you still have the remainder of the 10-year, 100,000 warranty, you have a paid up agreement, you have all kinds of options to kind of toy over. We'll sit down with you, we'll show you all those options there at least then. Hopefully we'll talk you into leasing or buying another car. But it gives you a little more control of your finances and hopefully get you into a new vehicle more often. So give us a call, 920-469-3000. That's the direct line here at the store. Come on down to Dorsch. I guess ask for Karin, ask for Greg, one of our seasoned salespeople here at the store. Any one of us can help you out with getting into another car. But we'll show you how to buy a car. And to be fair, how you pay for it is going to save the most amount of money, not what we can do in a discount. So come on, give us a call at Dorsch, 920-469-3000, and we'll see you soon.